Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Take 5. It is Monday, December 19th, 2011. We are in Luke chapter 8, verse 49. I don't need these today. While he was still speaking, someone from the ruler's house came and said, "Your daughter is dead. Do not trouble the teacher anymore." But Jesus, on hearing this, answered him, "Do not fear, only believe, and she will be well." And when he came to the house, he allowed no one to enter with him except Peter and John and James and the father and mother of the child. And all were weeping and mourning for her, but he said, "Do not weep, for she is not dead, but sleeping." And they laughed at him, knowing that she was dead. But taking her by the hand, he called, saying, "Child, arise." And her spirit returned, and she got up at once. And he directed that something should be given her to eat. And her parents were amazed, but he charged them to tell no one what had happened. Now, if you remember, this is the girl we talked about yesterday. Her dad came to Jesus, and Jesus was actually on his way to heal her when he gets interrupted by another woman who wants a healing. But she doesn't really try to interrupt him, but he feels power go out of her. And anyway, that woman gets healed. Now Jesus is back on track. But by this time, the girl is dead. But not to Jesus. Dead to everybody else. But not to the Lord. Looks one way to everybody else. Looks completely different to God. And maybe you're in a situation that looks hopeless to you. Not with God. It looks like there's no way this could ever get better. Maybe God doesn't see it that way. You know, Jesus said, "She's only sleeping." To him, she was only sleeping. To everybody else, she was dead. But whose opinion does it matter? Whose opinion about the situation does it really matter? Yours? The crowd's? Or God's? If God says something, that's the opinion that matters. Maybe somebody said something about you. Maybe they've called you some names. Maybe they've just said, "Well, you're just this way. You'll never change. You always mess up." But God's opinion's the one that matters. You know, the world's going to say all kinds of things about you. Your family might say all kinds of things about you. Your church, your brothers, your sisters in the Lord, unfortunately, might say all kinds of negative things about you. You know what God says? "You're my son. You're my daughter. I put my spirit in you, which means I'm in you. Which means you're a lot like me. Oh, you might mess up once in a while, but basically, you're in my hands. Nothing can harm you. Nothing can touch you. You've got an inheritance waiting for you. You have supernatural power to overcome sin in your life. You've got supernatural power to do amazing things for me. And I'll tell you something else. Your best days are not in the past. Your best days are ahead. That's why I left you there. If I thought I was done with you, I'd have done taken you up to be home with me. But I have left you on earth to do some amazing things. So don't you be believing what everybody else is saying. Because I don't see things that way. I see you mighty. I see you strong. I see you powerful. I see you not only mighty, strong, and powerful, I see you becoming more mighty, more strong, more powerful, more loving, more kind, more gentle, more impactful than you've ever been before in your life. That's how I see you. And guess what? Since I'm God, that's the only opinion that really matters. So forget what everybody else says, and even forget what you like to say to yourself, and surely forget what the devil says, and you start believing what I have said to you over and over again in my word. That's God's opinion on the matter. That's what he thinks. Now, listen to him. And you come back tomorrow, and we'll be telling you his opinion again about something else on the next edition of Take 5.